that's joined today. You're very welcome. And for today's 30-minute practice, I think we're going to do something grounding, still, calming, with everything that's going on, with lockdowns and restrictions and things changing and all that uncertainty can be very stressful on the nervous system for us as human beings. So we're going to do something that's a bit calming and stilling today, very grounded and on the mat. It'll be based on the yin practice. So yin energy is the opposite to yang, so it's cool, moon energy, stilling, calming. So that's what we're going to go for today. And we're not going to do many asana or many postures, just a few, but hold them for a longer time so that you can still yourself in the posture and hopefully bring a sense of calm to your day. So hopefully you're seated in a comfortable seating position, whatever works for you today in this moment. Your palms can be on your knees or hands or on the floor, wherever they want to go. They can be faced up. As long as you feel that you're grounding your legs, your lower body into the mat, onto the floor. And there's perhaps a sense of lightness in your upper body, all the way from your lower spine, traveling up to the top of your head, rolling those shoulder blades up and back maybe a few times, nice and slowly. Just remind them that they can relax. They don't have to be crunched up by your ears all day. And your eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels good for you in this moment. And just take this initial moment here to settle, to bring your awareness, bring yourself here onto the mat today. Putting aside what you've been doing up until this point and what you have to do after. And give yourself this next 30 minutes or so for your well-being. And perhaps you want to start to connect in with the breath, as we do at the beginning of any practice, to notice how you're breathing today. Maybe it's the first time you've really noticed your breath at all so far today. Our breath is usually such a great indication of how we're feeling in the moment. Does it feel short and quick and stressed? Does it feel long and deep and relaxed? And of course, we can use the breath as a tool to bring about balance and calm back to our day. So on that note, wherever you are in your cycle of breath, look to empty out your lungs completely through your nose. Breathing in strong and deep through the nose, filling the lungs completely. And then sighing it out. Emptying the lungs completely. Let's do one more like this. Inhaling through the nose. And let it go. One more. Third time's a charm. Breathing in through the nose, filling up those lungs. And sigh it out. Any sensations settle. Hopefully even just 3 simple breaths of sighing out through the mouth, you're already starting to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at ease. And if you can, during your practice, keep this focus on your breath, noticing how are you breathing throughout your practice. Perhaps if you can, look to inhale and exhale evenly. So from your position, your comfortable seated position, whatever you find yourself in, gently come to find your way down onto the mat, onto your belly, the front of your body down the mat. So, our first asana, or posture here that we're going to work with today, is often called seal in yin. It's a back bend, and it's a great counter to sitting in a chair, sitting in a desk, because our lower spine tends to round quite a bit sitting in a chair naturally. So this is to maybe work a little bit in the opposite direction today. So depending on how you feel, you might be quite open in your spine in terms of back bending, maybe not so much today. So there's many different options here for this particular posture. So if you want to, you can come into a position where you bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, your hands are flat to the mat, out in front, so that this is often called Sphinx pose. So imagine yourself like the Sphinx in Egypt. So this position requires you to be engaged with the forearms, the shoulders, the upper back, to keep yourself in this position. If you were to relax that, you would just sink down into your shoulders, and that's not going to feel too great. So you want to push the ground away from you gently, bringing your head up so that your neck isn't crunched back. It's not about how far back your neck goes. What you want to do here in this position is relax the lower back, the pelvis, the glutes, the legs. You want them to switch off completely. And your toes, your feet can be wider apart. Maybe you want them to be closer together. Just go what feels naturally good for you in this moment. And you might already start feeling some sensation in your lower back in this position here. If you find it very tough to hold this position with muscular engagement, if you have cushions or pillows or anything like that, you can also release onto them, like I'm doing now in this bolster. And of course you can stack them higher if you want to get more of an arch in the lower back. If you're finding that you would like to go a little bit deeper, then you can straighten the arms, which you can see quite increases the arch in the lower back here and requires a bit more muscular engagement in the arms and shoulders and upper back to keep this position. So I'm going to go with this variation today because this is what feels good for me. But work with how you're feeling in this moment. And we're going to stay in this position for at least 2 minutes or so. And this affords us an opportunity to really settle into the posture, connecting with your breath, and to notice the sensations you may or may not be experiencing. It all depends in this posture. We're looking through stillness in the posture, even gentle breath as a tool to bring calm and stillness to our nervous system and our minds. Sensation, discomfort is very normal and a natural part of a yin practice. If you feel pain, that's a bit different. You want to then back out of the posture and maybe not go as deep. So see how you're feeling. Making sure here that your lower back, your lower belly, your hips, your glutes, your legs are all relaxed. We're not looking to stretch and tone any muscles here in that area. This is deeper into the joints, the connective tissue, the synovial fluid, the myofascial tissue. And from this position here, it's really important in this practice that as you start to release out of the posture, so whether that's starting to bend your arms to lower down to the mat, or starting to move your arms away to the sides or in front of you, to lower your chest, your belly once more down to the mat, that you do so as slowly and mindfully as possible. There's no rush coming out of this position. And once you've released down into the mat, you can maybe bring one hand over the other and place your forehead on top of them, or you can bring your head to each side, whichever side feels good for you. Taking time to rebound from the posture. This is an important part of the practice, as much of the actual posture itself, is to let the energy move, sensations to settle. And of course, your eyes can be open or closed at any point during this practice. From here, you're going to make your way slowly and mindfully as possible onto your back. However you'd like to get there. I'm just going to switch sides here. And we're going to work with some twists now. A simple twist to each side. Again, moving our spine, probably in a way that we don't do too often on a daily basis. So depending on how, again, your spine feels today, you might want to bring a cushion, a block, pillow, bolster, anything like that. I'm just going to use my bolster as an example. So that when you bring your knees over to the right hand side to start, if you find that they float off the ground like this, you can bring something underneath there so that you can let the muscles relax and release in this position. What's important is you want to keep the shoulder blades flat onto the ground. So you can bring your arms out either side, palms up and palms down. You can bring arms into a cactus shape, whatever works for you. So bringing any props that you may want to need, sitting yourself up, bringing your knees in towards your chest, and gently on your next exhale, release those knees over to the right as far as they will go today. You can also rest your right hand on the outside of your left thigh if that works for you. Making sure that your left shoulder blade is flat to the mat. And again, here you can look over to the left if it feels good for the neck, or you can keep looking up towards the ceiling. Eyes open, eyes closed, whatever feels good for you. And really let yourself release into this posture. Checking in to make sure that the muscles in your legs, your lower back are all relaxed. Using this position, this stillness, as a tool to ground yourself, to relax your nervous system. And bring calm to your day. Observing without any judgment any physical experiences or feelings, perhaps emotional or otherwise. Thoughts may come and go, and that's fine. You're just observing from moment to moment. And from this position here, you can help your legs back up to a neutral position, however you'd like to get them there, gently and slowly. You can take a moment here, place your feet back onto the mat or the floor, letting any sensations settle. Utilized any props on the right side, you might want to bring those over to the left side now to set yourself up. And when you're ready, your next inhale, bringing your knees in towards your chest, keep the lower back on the ground, ground those shoulders, and exhaling. Gently sending the knees, the legs, over to the left-hand side. You might find one side feels different to the other, maybe they're the same. Keeping that right shoulder grounded into the mat to allow the twist to come from the lower spine, relaxing those legs, even the feet, the toes. letting your lower body twist and sink into the ground. Again, you can have your gaze up to the ceiling. Maybe you want to turn your head over to the right. Just working with what feels good for you in this moment. Seeing here if you can keep your gaze, or drishti in Sanskrit, soft and still. Even if your eyes are closed, can you let your eyes relax? Let them be still. Again, as a tool to bring about stillness and calm to yourself. And from this position, once again, you can help your legs, your knees up, gently bringing them up and back to center. Placing those feet on the floor. Taking a moment here, once again, to let these sensations settle. You can walk your feet a little bit wider and drop your knees in towards one another to touch. You can also send your feet out long in what's called a pentacle posture, or like a starfish. From this position here, just gently bringing yourself up to seated with your legs out in front of you. And we're going to do a very calming, gentle forward fold to close our practice. So, the idea here again is not muscular engagement to pull yourself forward and stretch your hamstrings. We're just wanting to have that action of folding forward. So you can keep your legs long, maybe place your hands wherever they need to go, and simply start to round towards your legs. It might feel good to bring something underneath your knees, like a bolster or cushion or pillow, and then allow yourself to come forward and relax and release over your legs. I'm going to go with this variation today. This feels really good for me in the moment. Again, eyes open or closed, entirely up to you. And allow yourself here to release, to relax into this posture. Continue to breathe your natural rhythm as it currently is. You can also join me if you'd like in a pranayama or breathwork technique called Brahmari or bee breath or bumblebee breath. The emphasis is here on a long, slow exhale with a buzzing noise coming from your throat. So to demonstrate, it'll sound something like this. So if you'd like to use this breathwork tool as a means to calm and relax the nervous system, then we'll do this together. Otherwise, feel free to continue as you are. Exhaling, emptying out your nose completely. Inhale through the nose, strong and deep. And begin. Second round. Final round. Letting your breath return to its natural rhythm. Releasing once more into this posture. In this position, ever so slowly and gently unfurling your spine from your forward fold, bringing your torso upright, moving any props you may have used in that posture, coming to sit once more in a comfortable seated position. Maybe it's the same as the beginning of your practice, maybe it's different. Your eyes can be open or closed, just taking a moment here to settle. If your eyes are closed, gently blinking them open to find yourself back in the space once more. Thank you for joining me here today on the mat for this hopefully calming, stilling and grounding practice. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your week ahead. Thank you very much. Namaste.